Hey, it's Brandi Vezina. Welcome back, and I'm going to be talking to you today about trusting your intuition. So thank you very much for joining me again. I'm an author, singer-songwriter, blogger, and educator. I do have 3 books available, one on Amazon and 2 that you can find in stores and also online, Raising Your Consciousness and Moonlit Path. Anyhow, today I want to talk to you about trusting your intuition. So I'm sure there's been times in your life when you didn't trust your intuition in different situations, and in the end, it wasn't a good thing. So I'm going to talk specifically about relationships right now and how not trusting your intuition devalues you. I know people who have not trusted their intuition and they've ended up on different, say like different types of medication because they felt like they were going crazy and they didn't feel well, they couldn't sleep, things were bothering them, but they were kind of in denial about what was really going on in their life. And some people I've known have manifested anxiety as a result of not dealing with what they were feeling. So in terms of when you deny if something is not a good situation, the person that it hurts and who has sleepless nights is you. I know for myself, there was relationships in particular that my intuition would tell me something is not right. And in one case, I was online and I ended up coming across a profile of a partner of mine who had a fake or a separate social media account that they used in secret without me knowing. And I mean, at the time it was heartbreaking, but my intuition told me keep looking. And oddly enough, I came across this, like it was a total shock. But when I think about it now, in retrospect, it wasn't much of a shock because the behavior and the patterns were already there. So when you listen to your intuition and you listen to that little voice in you, your intuition is the voice of your soul. That's your soul speaking to your spirit. But when you listen to that voice, you will tune into things that you know that you don't really necessarily want to admit. But if you keep denying them, it's only going to continue to get worse. But once you tune in, you listen to your body talk, you listen to your intuition, you listen to your spirit, you're going to be way far better off. Also, there were times in my life that I knew, different workplaces weren't agreeing with me. I didn't feel happy. It wasn't good. And I needed change. And it's like so scary at first, right? Like, how many of you are scared to make a big change in your life? Like, change your job, like your sense of security, your pension, your paycheck, if you have a mortgage, a house, daycare, all that sort of stuff. But the job you're working is actually making you sick and you're losing your health as a result. Well, it can be really scary and you can totally get stuck in fear if you're not willing to make those choices. But as you learn to listen to your intuition about what is good for you and what is not good for you, you're going to be able to make those decisions. Also, how many of you are in relationships right now that you're more scared to be alone, but you're lonely in the relationship you're in? Like for me, several of the relationships that I had been in, I felt totally alone. I did most things on my own. The person that I was with in particular, one person in particular, was always distracted because they were always constantly lying and they weren't able to be present and enjoy what we were doing and what was going on because they were just in a whole whirlwind of I was part of that collateral damage, right? But when you are able to, look at it for what it is, like, are your needs really being met in a situationship where it's not even real? It doesn't last if it isn't real. But your intuition will let you know if something is it's not good for you. So tune in, listen to your body talk, listen to those little tiny messages that you get from the universe, from spirit, from your higher power, from, whatever it is trying to protect you, your grandmothers, just giving you that little whisper that this isn't so great. And when you do tune in, and I'm telling you, being out of something that was terrible, it was awful. But it wasn't the first awful thing that I was in. It was a pattern until I realized, holy, I need to change something here, up my self-worth, and never get into something so awful again. But I tell you, being out of it, the further and further you get out of a bad relationship or a bad workplace, the more you realize how insidious it was and how the abuse started and where you kind of lost yourself and you didn't even, like gaslighting, crazy making, all those narcissistic things where, you kind of devalue and diminish what's really going on. But once you get away from it and you finally get a chance to kind of debrief and be like, wow, that was awful. But as you get out of it, you empower yourself. You don't jump into relationships. You listen to your intuition. You feel when like there's been guys who've wanted to date me, but I'm like, ooh, no, I can feel it's not a good thing much quicker. So yeah, as you get away from it, as you learn to tune into your own intuition, your own body, you're going to stay away from situationships that are not good for you. So I really hope you heard something that you needed to hear and you share this message with a friend who might be struggling, that might not even be willing to admit that things are not good right now. But you could be that voice. I could help you be that voice by just passing the message along. So please subscribe, check out my books, check out my blog, brandivezinablog.ca, and thank you so much for watching. Miigwech!